a wolf warrior and I dated for 7 years. But when the one chosen by the moon goddess returned, everything changed. Reading the confession in his journal, I decided to embrace my true mate. I had been in this secret relationship with my brother's friend for 7 years, and we were planning to mark each other as mates. I followed the location and found his reunion party with his pack mates. But as I reached the door of the den, I overheard their conversation. Daniel Jones, your Luna is back. What are you going to do about that temporary mate? He remained silent. The atmosphere became tense, and another friend laughed. And appreciate Daniel's courage, actually. He dared to pursue the daughter of our alpha. He had been fooling her around for years, and yet Winnie is back. Fine. She cheated on Daniel with someone else and left him. She deserves to have a competitor in love. The next day, Daniel took me to Winnie's welcome banquet. He was so affectionate with me that I wondered if I cooked up those conversations in my head. But when Winnie left us crying, he pushed me aside and chased after her in panic. I returned home covered in scratches. However, I didn't feel the pain at all. I went to his study room, a place he never allowed me to enter. I saw a diary on his desk. I flickered a few pages, and a bold statement caught my eyes. Munch-eared Winnie, my first and last love. No one can ever take your place in my heart. You are irreplaceable. My world crumbled reading that line from the person I loved for 7 years. I tossed the diary aside as I called my brother overseas brother. I've made up my mind about seeing my true mate. I agree, Bella Gray. Have you been dumped? My brother said jokingly. After not receiving any answer from me, he hesitated for a moment before he asked in a concerned voice, and spow no more and stown finding true love and choosing Umbral destined by the moon goddess. I forced a smile on my lips while answering my brother. No, I've just figured it out. I'm going to get married anyway, so it's better to get married with your true mate than seeking love in a world filled with lies and deception. She must have a reason for it, sending us into the world with a destined mate. I shouldn't defy her arrangement. My brother took a sigh of relief as he replied in a gentle voice. I'm glad you've given up the idea of not marrying your true mate because you want to marry someone out of love, not because he is your mate. When are you coming back? Do you want to meet him before making the final decision? No need. You and Dad know him. If you guys think he is good for me, then I also believe that. Besides, he is my true mate. What should I worry about? Besides, I'm really bad at judging men. The last line I spoke about was my personal experience with Daniel. Got it. By the way, are you still in contact with Daniel? I heard his dream girl is finally back. If you ever meet him, do tell him that I want a party from him. I also shared my experiences with him in pursuing girls. He shouldn't forget me in his celebration. I was surprised that my brother knew about Winnie. Now I understood why Daniel always asked me to keep our relationship a secret from his friends and especially my brother. I suppressed the tears in my eyes and coughed a few times before replying so that my brother wouldn't notice the hoarseness from my voice. Ice him. Sorry, I can't be helpful to you in this case. I don't like him. Just then, I heard the sound of footsteps approaching my room. I said my goodbyes and hung up the phone. I looked up only to find Daniel standing before my eyes. Don't like who? I don't like you. I don't like you. He came near me and pulled me into his embrace, saying in a flirtatious voice, do you like me now? I broke free from his embrace, but he pulled me back and carried me in his arms, asking in a more flirtatious voice, Monstead it, Daniel. Not liking it, I said in a distant voice. He threw me on the mattress, not noticing the change in my expression. He said in a sexy voice, Moiksan, or you only like me doing those things to you. Our once intimate behavior that made my heart race now only made me feel ridiculous. As I struggled to get up from the bed, I sniffed a scent of another she-wolf. It was the scent I smelled from Winnie. The scratches on my body ached, and I didn't know where the pain came from, but it was so sharp it brought tears to my eyes.